But yeah, I mean that's how I feel.
That scares me.
My mom and dad are not coming to my wedding.
Ooh.
And I feel like it's because there's something wrong with me, because you just finished watching a movie where, of course, there's a big plot point in the movie where I'm like, oh, my mom hit me and my dad spanked me, and I think they're kind of sick of it. I don't think they want to come to a wedding where like Joel McHale's there and just watched a movie about how they hit me. I think they're like, I'm assuming all these things because they're very polite. I would say reptilian, but did
they say why?
No, they didn't. They just said, well, we can't make it. We'd love to see pictures, and we'll hook up soon. And I was like, I just projected out of that silence. I'm like, you know what? They're just fucking sick of it. They have a 41-year-old child who is in his 35th year of making money by talking about how they beat him. And they're like, I'm not going to that wedding. It's going to be uncomfortable. Jack Black's going to be like looking over at us and whispering. And
yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't, so I don't blame them, which makes me feel bad because it's like, I know that I think about my extended family. It's like, I do nothing but fumble balls there just out of like, I don't care. I don't care.
No, I have that exact thing where like they try, well, I don't even know that they try to engage me genuinely. But I don't care.
I hold family to the same standard to which I hold strangers, and they don't measure up. They don't, because they're like, you should come over for Christmas so that we can fight.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Like, if a stranger offered that, I'd be like, fuck you. Like, if a TV show offered that, I'd be like, no, I'm not going to tune in to watch the Christmas episode and see you fight. Well, that is what we do. But like, yeah, I just kind of like, I don't know. I think it's, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It makes me feel bad. It makes me feel like I'm a shitty person.
No, yeah, I get that. It makes me feel fucking terrible.
Are you worried that the chickens are going to come home to roost? You're going to be 70 in the Stanley Kubrick third act bed with the tubes in your nose, and you're going to be like, where is everyone? And they're going to be like, we're gone because you didn't care.
You articulate that really well.
Yeah.
You should tell them McKenna's solution to your parents not coming to your
wedding. Yeah, he wants me to hire actors to play my parents. Which I think is really interesting. Like, have Tom Skerritt.
That's doable in Los Angeles.
It is totally. Like, you could go to central casting and just have like people that just look like your dad. But also, I have a crack. I could maybe get, who knows? I could see if like Tom Skerritt or Bryan Cranston would like, like maybe get an A-list guy to be my dad.
Morgan Freeman.
Get Gilbert Gottfried to fly out and be your dad.
I'm so proud of my dad, my son.
Just yesterday.
I'm supposed to say something. Now Harmon's in session.
Danny, treat it. That's a good. You do a good Gilbert.
He's a hero of mine. I haven't talked about this yet. I don't know if it's appropriate to talk about it because I don't know the guy, and I don't know. Like, when I was backstage, I met him, and I was like, "Hey, it's such an honor to have you here. So great that you were here." And he's like, "Okay." And I go like, actually, you're not so much a guest as you are actually kind of like, you have to go out and introduce me. Okay. And he just kept saying, okay. I was like, oh God, I really fucked up. Like, he doesn't know me, and this is too much to ask of somebody, and he's bummed out, and he's lethargic, and he doesn't care. And he just kept going, okay. And then he kind of like, I didn't feel like I had the right to tell him to like, go out. And so you can hear in the recording, people are spontaneously erupting into chicken noodle songs because I'm backstage, like standing next to him and kind of waiting for him to go out.
Yeah.
But afraid to ask him to go out. So then eventually, I go, okay, so let's go do it. And then he comes out and he starts like pumping. He just like comes out, completely changes his posture, turns into this completely different person, and the audience is like screaming for him, and he's like milking the crowd. Yeah. And then he sits down and goes like, I'm Gilbert Gottfried. And it does this whole thing, does it for 2 hours. It's a great show. We get off stage, and I'm like, oh my God, that was so great. Thank you. He's like, okay. And then he disappeared into the night like Starman. He just he just turned into cosmic dust and went up, and that's where Saturn's rings come from.
He's a lights-up performer. That's what they call it.
What I really wanted to ask him is that like because we're friends with Bobcat, so we know that Bobcat thinks of that voice that he would do, like, that guy. That's a character. And I don't know Gilbert Gottfried well enough to ask him. I wanted to ask him, do you call that a character, or is that how you speak when you're projecting your voice? Yeah, because I think there's a subtle but important difference. Like, I really wanted to know, but I didn't have the balls to ask him. And I thought I'd share just what's going on in my life in the lowest stakes. Wow, you got to hear the San Francisco show. Dan talks about the previous show. He really gets to the bottom of nothing. Just asks questions and puts things. He remembers he needs butter. It was a great use of San Francisco's time. We watched a 2-hour movie about him, and then we watched him think about things.